Hello and welcome. Today our virtual treaty walk is taking place in Victoria Park, which is in the city of Regina. We would like to acknowledge that Victoria Park is located on Treaty 4 territory, which is situated on the territories of the Nihilwak, Anishinaabeg, Dakota, Lakota, Nakota, and the homeland of the Métis Michif Nation. We respect and honor the treaties that were made on all territories. We acknowledge the harms and mistakes of the past, and we are committed to move forward in partnership with Indigenous nations in the spirit of reconciliation and collaboration.
We decided to do our treaty walk in Victoria Park because of its significance in relation to the treaties and Indigenous peoples. Victoria Park used to be home to the memorial of John A. Macdonald. This is where the statue used to sit for 54 years. John A. Macdonald became the first Prime Minister of Canada in 1867. Throughout his years in term, Macdonald played a huge role in the creation of residential school system. Many people believe that the statue overlooked the negative impacts that Macdonald's policies and initiatives had on Indigenous peoples. So the statue was removed and placed into storage in 2021.
This park has been a huge part of Regina's history. It has had people coming to tour it since the early 1900s to look at its amazing greenery, monument statues, and lovely walking path. This park has had many important events take place in it and is now used for going on a walk, looking at fresh greenery, having a picnic in the park, and even looking at historic monuments. While we walked around Victoria Park, we used our 5 senses to hear, smell, touch, taste, and see what was around us and what we were experiencing.
What do you think we heard in this park? Have your teacher pause the video, write or draw 3 things on your Treaty Walk Predictions worksheet.
Kenzie, what do you hear?
While walking through the park, we can hear many cars traveling around the park. Since this park is located downtown by a bunch of businesses, many cars are traveling to and from work, shops, or even to stop and get some food. Another thing we heard while walking through the park was many people talking. There were numerous people talking and walking through the park the same time we were. Lastly, there was even a daycare that took children to the park, so we heard giggles while they were playing. Finally, we also heard birds chirping, and sometimes there were even airplanes over top of us flying.
What do you think we smelt in this park? Have your teacher pause the video and write or draw 3 things on your Treaty Walk Predictions worksheet.
Maddie, what did you smell?
While walking through the park, the main smell that we smelt was fresh air. This walk was done on a beautiful February morning when the air was crisp. You could smell the fresh cold breeze through your nostrils as you strolled through the park. The other smell that you could smell walking through the park was the odd whiff of good-smelling food from the food shops and restaurants nearby. These foods that were smelt were original, deep-fried, and yummy.
What do you think we could touch in this park? Have your teacher pause the video and write or draw 3 things on your Treaty Walk Predictions worksheet.
Kenzie, what did you touch?
Victoria Park has many things to touch and interact with throughout the park. These are trees, benches, sidewalks, grass, and snow that you can touch, as well as playing a play structure, going for a skate on the skating rink, warming up in the warming shack, playing a game of croquet-curl with your friends or family, or even touching the beautiful artwork around the park. Other things that you can touch are the monuments throughout the park, sculptures that people made out of ice, but be careful not to touch them too hard because you don't want to break those, and also little learning centers to play in.
What do you think we could taste in this park? Have your teacher pause the video and write or draw 3 things on your Treaty Walk Prediction worksheet.
Maddie, what did you taste?
Well, there weren't many things that we could taste in this park. However, bringing a picnic, a coffee, or even snacks on a nice day would be wonderful to enjoy while sitting in the park. There are also amazing and delicious restaurants and shops that you can enjoy a nice meal or snack, which are located all around the park.
What do you think we saw around the park? Have your teacher pause the video and write or draw 3 things on your Treaty Walk Predictions worksheet.
Kenzie, what did you see in the park?
Victoria Park had many things to see. Some things that I saw were indigenous art pieces and paintings, trees, a small outdoor rink with a warm-up shack, people walking, a croaker curl activity, skyscrapers, the large cenotaph located in the middle of the park, food establishments, outdoor learning centers, birds, memorials for soldiers who were in the armed forces, lots of benches, ice sculptures, vehicles, play structures, and monuments about the province of Saskatchewan and its first premier, Walter Scott. These are only some of the things I saw while walking around Victoria Park. If you were to go back on a different time or a different day, and maybe in a different season, you could see different things from what I saw.
While at Victoria Park, we experienced many things. Like we learned in Nick Purdon's video, the decisions Macdonald made about Indigenous peoples while he was Prime Minister went against all treaty negotiations and agreements. We have been and always will be affected by treaties and considered treaty people because we live and learn on treaty land. Because we considered our 5 senses when walking around, we got the full experience of the historical park. Macdonald's substantial role in the residential school system and the harm he caused to Indigenous peoples makes Victoria Park in Regina a perfect place for a treaty walk. Students will be able to recognize the lifelong impacts that Macdonald's decisions and policies have had on Indigenous peoples. Thank you for watching our virtual treaty walk and being so interactive. Now it is your turn to go for a treaty walk and think about what you hear, smell, see, taste, and feel.
By completing this Treaty Walk video, you have reached the Grade 1 Treaty Education Outcome, TPP 1, explore what it meant by we are all treaty people. Indicator B, represent that all Saskatchewan people are treaty people from the time the treaties were signed through to today and into the future. You have also reached the Grade 1 Science Education Outcome, SE 1.2, explore how human and animal use their senses to interact with the environment, and indicators A and D to go along with this. Bye!